KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. And brought to you by Matson and the Adahi Tanu program. Cars Plus, reminding you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads up, Guam. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Coming up now on KUAM News Primetime, a motorcycle crash Monday night claims the life of a 32-year-old man, marking the island's 14th traffic-related fatality of 2019. Also tonight, a press conference held up in Jigo at Simon Sanchez urges leaders to get the ball rolling on rebuilding the troubled school. Also tonight, a new U.S. Marshal for Guam and the CNMI was sworn in this morning.
Day and good evening, Guam. I'm Chris Barnett, and our top story tonight. Highway Patrol is investigating the latest traffic-related fatality that happened in Maiti last night. Our Sabrina Salas-Matanani has more in our top story.
Described as a dedicated employee and a great technician by his co-worker at Triple J Auto Group, 32-year-old Leroy Leon Guerrero passed away following injuries sustained from an incident that occurred near the First Hawaiian Bank building. Police spokesperson Paul Tapao.
Around 9 o'clock last night, Monday evening, officers from the Higganyo Precinct Command responded to a motorcycle crash that occurred on Route 8.
Leon Guerrero was transported to Naval Hospital where attending physicians pronounced him dead. Highway Patrol was back on the scene today attempting to piece together the clues as to what led to the crash.
Our traffic investigators they just finished doing the scale mapping and the measurements of the roadway, and they're visiting the evidence that may have been left at the scene and, of course, examining the bike to determine further as to the causation of the crash.
Is there any indication or anything you've heard preliminarily about the possibility of a vehicle that might have been on the roadway that may have been involved in flood?
We're looking at the full totality of everything. When the officers were out there mapping and doing the scene diagram, they were also visiting the establishments to obtain any surveillance videos that may capture the incident of the crash in itself. So we are looking into everything, but as of right now, we're focusing on the motorcycle spill or the motorcycle crash.
This is the second fatal motorcycle crash in as many weeks and the 14th traffic-related fatality of the year.
We just want to ask the community to please, be extra cautious out there.
Leon Guerrero was Triple J's lead Honda technician. His immediate supervisor, Adam Butcher, says he's been with the company for 8 years, a great technician, a wonderful friend and colleague. His Triple J family sends heartfelt thoughts and prayers to his entire family during this difficult time. It's a family that also has ties to the Guam Police Department. Leon Guerrero is the son of a local police officer.
Our thoughts and prayers goes out to the family, and something of this magnitude and everything, it really is, it's hard to fathom when you lose a life, but, lives that are close to you, but, it's hard.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas-Matanani.
The long-delayed reconstruction at Simon Sanchez High School could get back on track soon. Officials have pledged $4 million to pay for the next phase of architectural and engineering design, and there's even hope of actually breaking ground next year to begin rebuilding the 45-year-old school.
It was a press conference that felt more like a student pep rally, apparently organized by the Shark faithful to urge the governor and DOE officials to figure out the funding that will get the rebuilding going again. Superintendent John Fernandez had asked the governor for $7.1 million from the anticipated $20+ million revenue surplus, but the governor has already said any excess money would go toward deficit reduction. She made it clear today that of the $4 million needed for the next phase in the rebuilding project, $1.1 million could come from federal CIP funding, and the other $2.9 million GDOE has said it already has.
We've had that ballpark $4 to $5 million but I need that assurance so I can move forward. We always have to certify funding is available. That means someone has to sign their name on the line.
And it's really in his authority and his purview, and to move forward the building of Simon Sanchez. By law, he has been given that authority.
We've got to move forward one way or the other. So I need to be able to get the governor's support, the board support to allocate funding for that school right off the top. And we'll deal with the consequences later. So that means that if spending this money up front is going to make it tighter later in the fiscal year, we'll deal with that, working with the governor and the legislature.
In her letter to Fernandez, the governor says now that the funding is clear, a request for proposal can be issued right away for the next phase architectural and engineering work.
It would be nice and ambitious, but very nice to be able to do some kind of groundbreaking late summer.
The focus really is providing a safe, secure learning environment for our students.
And a student-produced video shown today says they've been waiting for more than 8 years. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Solemnly swearing in as a U.S. Marshal for Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands, Fernando Leon Guerrero Sablan was joined with his family and officials for the ceremony in District Court. Now, 2 years ago, former Guam Governor Eddie Baza-Calvo and CNMI Governor Ralph Torres recommended Sablan to the White House. He was appointed by President Donald Trump on September 30th. The son of Guam is a former U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer and a GPD officer. Former Governor Calvo presented the keynote address emphasizing Sablan's integrity in service and also describing his personality traits as a family man rooted in faith, fidelity, compassion, and honor. Well, a homicide investigation has been launched in Yap after the shooting death of the state government's acting Attorney General, Rochelle Bergerson. After serving in the acting capacity for the past 10 months, online media reports state Bergerson was shot dead last night. The FSM Department of Justice and the FBI reportedly will conduct an investigation. Bergerson was serving as an assistant AG since 2015 before being promoted to acting AG in January. Well, after being summoned by the district court, Leighton Borja appeared for a violation hearing. Borja on pretrial release for a separate case in Superior Court where he faces possession charges. Now, as a result, U.S. probation filed for revocation of his supervised release conditions related to his federal conviction. In district court today, his defense attorney, Chuck McDonald, argued that this is Leighton Borja's first alleged violation and asked for a continuation until the resolution of his local court case. The government did not object, stating they would give him the benefit of the doubt. Judge Joaquin Manabusan scheduled a continuation hearing for January 15th. Chief Justice Francis Tydenko Gatewood has denied drug defendant Vincent Rios' request to withdraw his guilty plea. This came after 2 hours of arguments made by both parties, 2 witnesses brought forth to testify, and 2 items presented as evidence. Defense counsel William Gavris argued Rios did not understand the legal terms and needs a Chamorro interpreter because he speaks English at an intermediate level. The government played a phone recording of Rios explaining in English another defendant's case. U.S. prosecuting attorney Rosetta San Nicolas stated the conversation was telling because Rios said legal language such as plea agreement, pretrial release, statute of limitation, and even used them correctly. Judge Gatewood asked the defendant to raise his hand at any point during today's motion hearing if he did not understand and needed to use the Chamorro interpreter. Rios never raised his hand. Ultimately, the court ruled and sentencing was scheduled for December 18th. Well, after violating her pre-sentence release conditions, drug defendant Maria Untalan is detained and back in federal court today. Untalan, represented by a new attorney, William Gavris, it was said in court that at her last appearance, she admitted to the violation was placed behind bars. As we've previously reported, Maria and her sister Veronica were indicted for an April 2018 incident that involved 50 or more grams of meth, and also 2 incidents back in March that also involved more than 50 grams of meth. The duo was charged for conspiracy, attempted possession, and distribution. Gavris asked the court for a week to review the case, and Judge Joaquin Manabusan scheduled a continued status hearing for October 22nd. Well, Congressman Michael San Nicolas has work to do to get H.R. 1365 passed. That's the word from Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio. Tenorio, fresh off the plane and back from a trip to the nation's capital. Here's more in this report. Part of what Adelup has called his aggressive federal mission had Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio on Capitol Hill lobbying Republican Senate members for the passage of H.R. 1365, the technical corrections bill that will allow for Guam war claims payments to World War II survivors. Tenorio clarifying Governor Lulian Guerrero's comments that Senate members were not too familiar with the measure. He tells KUAM what could be causing confusion is a lack of clarity about 1365's fiscal impact to the federal government.
The difficulty that we have to really deal with is the fact that the Congressional Budget Office has given this piece of legislation a score, which for budget hawks has to really be explained because there's already money in the bank. There's $24 million on the side.
While congressional watchdog site GovTrack has estimated the war claims bill has just a 21% chance of passing, we asked Lieutenant Governor Tenorio what his boots-on-the-ground assessment was on H.R. 1365.
I'm optimistic, but I think this is a critical time. The congressman really does have a lot of work that needs to be done to explain the situation. By the time we left, the staff was still preparing to brief the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, and of course, you can tell from national events, the Senate Judiciary Committee is the same committee that's going to be dealing with a potential trial if the president's impeached.
Tenorio again reiterating the urgency and the need to pay war survivors their claims, and he also praised Guam efforts to lobby for the bill's passage, even patting local Republican senators who went to Washington on the back for understanding that this is a bipartisan effort. We asked Tenorio about Congressman San Nicolas's habit of blasting local politicians who visit D.C. on Facebook. Just last week, San Nicolas blasted Tenorio and Guadalupe Chief of Staff Tony Babauta for, quote, pretending to do his job while they were in D.C. lobbying for 1365.
Really not interested in the bickering that goes on and hopeful that, we can work together closely on this.
His message to war survivors waiting on war claims checks.
Everybody's fighting to get you paid. I just think that we need to fight on the same team instead of fight with each other.
Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Now there's a technology that's lighting the way to a new mortgage for people all across Guam. Introducing Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii, Hawaii's leading lender. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii lets you apply for a home loan anytime from any device, making the mortgage and refi process faster and easier. Or work hand in hand with one of our residential loan experts. So put the power of choice and control in your hands. Simplify Mortgage by Bank of Hawaii. Welcome to tomorrow.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're gonna be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're gonna be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
Half
Half-a-day hungry drivers. Are you spending more time on the road? Shell has teamed up with Wendy's so you can buy fuel and eat free. Just fuel up 7 gallons at any Shell station and get a coupon for a Wendy's cheeseburger or chicken nuggets. Or use 2 coupons to redeem a Wendy's cheeseburger meal with fries and a drink. Fuel up at Shell today because this deal won't last long. Quality service, fuel and food from Shell and Wendy's.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. Senator Jim Moylan claps back to a response made by Rules Chair Senator Regine Biscoe-Lee about Moylan's resolution that called for drug testing the legislative branch. Lee said Moylan's resolution 1635 may be deemed unconstitutional, citing an AG's opinion from former AG Elizabeth Barrett Anderson. However, Moylan, in a release today, says his measure, which has yet to receive a public hearing, called for drug testing as an onboarding measure, not for random drug testing. The Guam legislature currently doesn't have such a policy as the other branches of government do. I'm certain she, meaning Senator Lee, just like many in our community, would agree the Guam legislature needs to be a drug-free workplace. That statement from Senator Moylan, in which he again called for a public hearing on the measure. The University of Guam's bid to raise tuition by 30% is drawing strong opposition from both the governor and the legislative finance chairman. Both say the school should find other ways to make ends meet before placing additional burdens on students. Nestor Lecanto has more in this report.
Many students came forward in a hearing at the school Friday saying they couldn't afford the tuition increase. UOG President Dr. Thomas Kreis explained they need to raise money because GovGuam has been shortchanging their budget over the last few years.
However, since 2016, UOG has not received its full local appropriations from the government of Guam, a shortfall of more than $12.3 million over these 3 fiscal years. This year, the budget law appropriated $27.6 million, a shortfall of $6.2 million from what UOG requested.
The proposed increase is for 10% per semester over the next 3 semesters, beginning in spring 2020. But Governor Leon Guerrero says she's against it and that UOG should focus on raising revenues instead, for example, by increasing enrollment.
I would like them to stay off any increase in tuitions and work in how we can help support them with other increase in revenue sources or other decrease in operational efficiencies.
Finance Chairman Joe San Augustine, who manages the legislative budget process, also takes exception to UOG's approach.
They need to work with their budget, not find excuses or reasons to say that if they didn't get the 6, they have to increase the tuition. They need to work within their budget. Like the governor said, operation efficiency. And we're looking at that right now and seeing where their allotments at, or not necessarily the allotment, but how are they spending their money is what we need to take a look at. And that's where my office is looking at right now.
He also cautioned the school not to push through with a proposal it's been considering to raise certain salaries at this time.
I also have a copy of a resolution that they wanted to increase certain staff pay raise. What are you doing? You don't raise the raise. Don't raise people's pay.
KUAM also received a copy of that resolution. It would adopt Phase 2 of a 2008-2009 salary scale for administrators at a cost of about $630,000. It authorizes the president to develop a phase-in plan when funds are available. A UOG spokesman says no plan has been implemented yet. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
In other news, Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio says he expects more progress on veterans issues after meeting with Veterans Affairs leadership on his aggressive federal mission. Here's more.
I expect there to be some progress on the Veterans Affairs front.
That's the word from Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio. Tenorio back from his 2-week aggressive federal mission after being dispatched by Governor Leon Guerrero. He says he met with VA leadership, the LT, saying the meetings were very productive. And he tells KUAM one of the biggest takeaways was a collaboration between the VA and the Secretary of Defense.
The Secretary of the Veterans Affairs and the Secretary of Defense have signed a MOU last week, pledging to open up some military facilities for use by veterans.
That news coming hot on the heels of a congressional delegation visit to Guam, where House VA committee members cited the stark difference between the Veterans CBOC Clinic and Naval Hospital. Tenorio says regional vets may be able to avail themselves of services when the MOU is fully implemented.
Using Navy Hospital and other military health facilities for veterans services to supplement.
Tenorio also saying he was informed of additional program benefits for vets coming down the pike. Also in the works, talks to make Guam a regional hub for VA processing.
We're trying to build a case for them to establish a processing center here in Guam. Talking about using Guam as a hub to deal with not only the veteran service benefit applications for Guam and the Micronesian region, but perhaps for the 100,000 veterans that are living in the Philippines.
Salary increments for classified government of Guam workers are back. Increments were frozen in the fiscal year 2019 budget law as a cost savings measure. Now, KUAM obtained documents from the Department of Administration by way of Freedom of Information Act requests that show of the 1,691 GovGuam workers who were eligible for an increment in FY19, DOA has already processed salary increment reinstatements for 1,417 of them. More may be on the way as DOA tells KUAM the department is waiting for 274 more performance evaluations from last fiscal year. Increments are 3.5% of an employee's base salary and are awarded after an employee completes a satisfactory review. GovGuam employees at steps 1 through 6 are reviewed yearly, while steps 7 through 9 are entitled to increments after 18 months of satisfactory performance, while steps 10 and higher are given increments after 2 years of satisfactory performance. GovGuam workers whose increments were processed will see the difference in their paychecks on the first payday in November, according to DOA. Well, 3 Taiwan doctors from the China Medical University Hospital are on Guam, sharing with residents the services and treatments offered at their hospital. Now, at a press conference held this morning at the Hyatt Regency Guam, Dr. Chi Kun Huang, Dr. Xian Ti Chen, and Dr. Chen Chun Chang addressed a crowd wanting to know more. Dr. Huang spoke about the hospital's overwhelming success with bariatric surgery.
But because there's some obesity, very high degree of obesity, severe obesity, or we call it morbidly obese, so we need to use surgery to treat them. About 40 years ago, it's a very difficult task because we don't have advanced technology and medicine for this. So right now, we have very good instruments, equipment, technology to treat this kind of patient.
And tune in to News Extra immediately after Jason Salas sits down with the 3 doctors to learn more about the great things they're doing at their hospital. Well, Dave Delgado is on the way with sports. Keep it where you got it.
Agent Alpha.
What's that? An Alpha Insurance customer needs a claim settled immediately? I'm on it.
Agent Alpha.
In the event of an accident, theft, or breakdown, each of our Alpha Insure agents are trained to go above and beyond.
This is my stop. There she is. Target acquired.
Agent Alpha.
Yes!
Launch your journey to success today. Want to grow your business? Start a new venture? Or stay ahead of the competition? You can. With smart business solutions tailored to your specific needs and ambitions, you can achieve your goals. You can stay connected to your customers and your teams with Docomo Pacific's best-in-class network coverage. You can increase productivity, collaborate anywhere and anytime, powered by innovative platforms. You can be confident knowing that you have a dedicated team to provide premium support for all your needs. With us by your side, you can do it all. Find out more at DocomoPacific.com/business. Docomo Pacific Business, delivering your future today.
Okay. Can you connect me to Alan, please?
Attention passengers of flight AJ3004, your flight has been delayed.
Woo! It's the flavor that makes you go, woo.
McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich. Made with tender, juicy, all-white meat chicken.
Available in 4, 6, or 10-piece chicken tenders. Try the spicy barbecue crispy chicken sandwich too.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. On the show tonight, news on how Team Guam did at the OCR Worlds. We'll also take a look at one of the bikini competitors heading to the stage in this weekend's show. But first off, some beach rugby highlights for you. Check it out. 16 teams showed up at Jimmy D's Beach for Uproar Guam's beach rugby tournament. Competing teams received a rugby ball, t-shirts, adult beverages, and a fun day of beach rugby action. Games were played on 2 marked fields, 4-minute halves with 1-minute halftime break. Each team had the opportunity to advance the ball in 6 touches. Drop balls were called handling errors, which resulted in loss of possession or turnovers. Winning this year's Army Cup, Jungle Rules. Runners-up, Super Smash Bros. Third place was Touchy Touchy Rucky Rucky. Team Guam finished 11th out of 60 teams at the OCR Worlds held in London. Guam's team of Billy Navarrete, Brian Johnson, and Darren Perez finished with a time of 1 hour 6 minutes. Other competitors who represented Guam were Jeff Rios in the 3-kilometer race, Tom Akigami in the 3-kilometer and 7-kilometer distance. Team CNMI was represented by James Lee and Rodney Camacho in the 3-kilometer race distance. Turning over to some news on this weekend's bodybuilding show, let's meet another bikini competitor ready to hit the stage.
Hapade Guam, my name is Geraldine Mesa from the village of Tamaning, and I'll be competing in Bikini Class A division in this weekend show. So this is my second Guam show. It's actually, my training's been a lot different from my first show just because I kind of know how my body responds now. And with training, I've actually been going a lot lighter with the weights just because with my division, we don't require too much muscle. And so we focus a lot on muscle detail and volume and reps, but not too much on the heavy side of weights. I'm hoping to place, of course, to top because I'm trying to qualify. And following with that, I really do want to hopefully do a stateside show, a national show in the following year or sometime while my qualifier's still, in date. Honestly, I'm feeling really good this year. I feel like I've made a lot of improvements, and this is honestly the best part. As the show gets closer, you get a lot more excited. Everything starts to tie together. The weights are a lot more lighter, so you're kind of taking it easy on the body, and really all that comes together is the suit, glamming up, stage time, and I'm ready.
It is the spirit within us, our soul, our essence that drives us to seek a better way, to create beauty and enrich the senses, to inspire fulfilling lives, to be at one with our earth and protect those who we love. Only by taking on challenges do we change the world for the better.
The Hapade Pledge is like an extension of the Hapade spirit, which is all about family. It doesn't matter where you're from or who you are. I wear this uniform. I'm definitely proud of my job and what we do. I not only live it in the uniform, but outside of the uniform as well. It's definitely a way of life. I live the Holiday Pledge every day of my life.
What are y'all in line for?
Oh, this place has an insane new toasted cheddar dish.
Wow.
All the food blogs are raving about it.
There's a new food obsession sweeping the nation.
They toast the cheddar in a cool way, but not like an obvious cool way.
And there's only one place to get it.
A toasted cheddar chalupa. Incredible.
This place is gonna be big.
Toasted cheddar baked on the shell of a chalupa. The all-new Toasted Cheddar Chalupa, only at Taco Bell.
And before we close out the news tonight, you know the deal. Our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Tonight we say happy birthday to Joanna Guzman, coming from your husband and the kids. Also a happy birthday, Sweet 16 happy birthday to Samantha Jordan and Quintanita. This comes from your entire family. Also celebrating a 16th birthday is Michelle Marie M. Quintanita. It's a great day to be a member of the Quintanita family. Gordon Blackman, happy birthday to you from the girls and your entire family. Majelyn Calcetta, happy birthday to you, to our beautiful Mage from her McFamily co-worker. And happy birthday to KUAM's very own numbers man, Mr. Larry Armamento, the man in the back who makes everything happen for us up in the front. And happy belated birthday wishes going out to Brendan Cedric Santos C. Happy birthday number 14. I love you, says Mom. Hope everybody had a great birthday.
And remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. Well, that's going to do it for us here on the KUAM News Desk, but stay tuned. Everybody's favorite Jason is on the way with Extra Jaws.
Health, home, and lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.
Hello, one and all. I'm Jason Salas, and this is Health, Home, and Lifestyle. And we get started right off the bat with my good friend, Nurse Jen Artero, who is going to talk about a rather interesting topic, something that's often misunderstood. She's talking about warts.
Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Day, I'm Nurse Jen, and it's time for your health check. Do you have any weird bumps that just poof, one day just showed up? Not all bumps are created equal. A wart can be the most stubborn of all the bumps. This is because it's caused by several strains of the HPV virus. The good news is that a solo wart is typically harmless and painless. However, if plantar or genital warts develop, then pain will follow. Please resist the urge to yank it off yourself, because then you could actually increase your risk of infection. Medical professionals agree that if you have more than one wart or get recurrent warts, to first get the wart biopsied, and then it can be removed by applying acid to it. Another bump disorder to look out for is cherry angioma. These are small, bright red clustered bumps that completely flat on the skin. A cherry angioma is a dilated blood vessel, and according to Dr. Nada Ibulak, professor at New York University Longhorn Medical Center, you can get cherry angiomas at any age, as it is hereditary. Typically, if a sibling has it, your chances are heightened. The good news is that it's totally benign and can easily be removed with intense laser light removal therapy sessions. Another bump culprit are skin tags. These are harmless, fleshy skin growths that often pop up in clusters. They can be annoying, especially if they're located where clothing tends to rub against. The constant friction can be irritating, eventually causing inflammation. Do not attempt to remove them by yourself. A trained professional can either freeze or numb it before snipping it off. And a very common bump disorder right here on Guam is a boil. A boil is caused by bacteria or sometimes an ingrown hair. And boils love dark, moist areas such as your fafa, your genitals, your buttocks. If the boil produces a fever, excessive pain, or is getting redder and more swollen every day, then it's time to see a doctor. The doctor will perform an incision and drainage and prescribe antibiotic therapy. Hang out with us KUAM folks just a little bit more. We got some good stuff coming up. I'm Jennifer Artero, registered nurse, reminding you, don't wreck yourself, health check yourself.
Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Stay tuned. We're back after this.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Half a day, everybody, and welcome back to the show. I'm still Jason Salas, and you are watching KUAM News Extra on YouTube, on Facebook Live, and on KUAM at TV. Thanks so much for joining me once again, because I am joined on the KUAM couch this evening by three learned medical experts in the field of spine surgery and bariatric surgery. We will find out what that means in just a moment, but they are three gentlemen, three physicians who are from the China Medical University Hospital in Taiwan. On the left side, we have Dr. Huang from the BMI Center.
Hi, how are you?
Half a day, doctor.
Very
nice.
Yes.
Very nice to have you on Guam. In the middle, we have Dr. Chen, also from the Spine Center.
Have a day.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Chen from Taiwan China Medical University Hospital Spine Center.
All right, we're very happy to have you here. And also from the Spine Center, Dr. Chang. So, doctors.
Hello, I'm Dr. Zhang from Taiwan. Nice to meet you.
All right, thank you for joining me, and thank you for the expertise and the knowledge and wisdom that you are passing down to our medical community right here. So, the purpose of your trip, of course, is to impart knowledge on local surgeons and local physicians. We'll start with you, Dr. Wang. What will you be discussing with our local physicians?
In fact, in Taiwan, China Medical University Hospital, we provide very unique and very pioneer medical service for Taiwanese, but also we would like to provide this kind of international medical service for Guam people. So that's the main reason this time we come to Guam to let most of the Guam people to understand what we can offer them. And three of us, we are surgeons. So I'm in charge of the weight loss surgery, and Dr. Chen and Dr. Zhang, both of them are spine surgeons. So that's the reason that I think we can have some discussion about how the patient goes to Taiwan and how we provide a good service for them.
Okay, well, Dr. Chen, what makes a potential patient a candidate for one of your spinal procedures? Is it people who have spine defects from birth, or is it people who have been through extreme amounts of trauma, say like an auto accident, or?
Yes, in our center, we can provide 6 departments, including deformity, scoliosis, and the revision surgery department, and the spinal tumor department, and the minimal invasive and the percutaneous endoscopic surgery, and the cell therapy, and the high-level cervical spine and the complicated cervical spine disease. In Guam, there are many people, their body weight is over. So usually the patient is high body weight, may suffer many degenerative disease on the low back, including the knee or hip disease. So this patient, when they suffer the persistent back pain and leg pain and fail to non-operative treatment, maybe they can seek for the surgical treatment.
Okay, now Dr. Chang, I know osteoarthritis is a condition that would make you candidate for that kind of thing. So
yes.
Does that only typically affect the elderly, or can it also affect like very young people?
Yes, sometimes there's traumatic osteoarthritis because trauma, they made their joint destruction. Then we also can cure this kind of patient. And also sometimes about hip joint, if there's a vascular necrosis, which comes from idiopathic steroid injection or steroid usage, or sometimes alcohol withdrawal or alcohol using, so they have a vascular necrosis of hip. We also deal with this kind of patients, which we can make them walk again and pain-free. Yes.
Do you also deal with a lot of, and any of you doctors, any of you gentlemen can jump in here, but part of what makes Guamanians very special is we love athletics and we love our sports here. So everybody plays sports. We play it year-round because of the wonderful Pacific climate that we're so blessed with. But I'm sure you see a lot of sports-related injuries, specific to the back in particular.
In young adult, they love the sports in Guam, and then the people in this young group may suffer the disc herniation in the cervical spine or lumbar spine, and usually the patient fail to non-operative treatment. We can provide the percutaneous endoscopic surgery through 8 mm open wound. So the patient just only can stay at the hospital tonight, and they can be back to their ordinary work.
Dr. Wang, is that considered minimally invasive? If it's only 8 mm, is it even considered an incision at that point?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, right now, most surgery was done by minimally invasive approach.
Okay.
So, in fact, the recovery is very quick. Even we do bariatric surgery, the spine surgery, and the other, like hepatoplasty surgery, right now, almost 80% was minimally invasive already. So, the recovery is very quick. The patient returns to normal life in 1 week.
I know there's I forget the name, but there's a medical facility in Minnesota in the United States mainland, but we get a lot of the U.S. commercials here, and they heavily advertise the fact that they can treat a variety of spine conditions, and they say, minimally invasive surgery, it's almost like an outpatient procedure. And they said you can be walking with, if you have severe spinal trauma or, like you said, scoliosis and everything like that, they say they almost guarantee you can be up and walking within 2 days.
Yes.
So certainly these are colleagues of yours in the field, but you're also doing world-class work.
Yes,
truly innovative.
We are doing the minimal invasive spine surgery, and which we call, Dr. Chen had called is endoscopic surgery, percutaneous endoscopic surgery. It's from a 8 mm wound, and this kind of patient can walk the day on the surgery day.
That's incredible.
Yes, so it helps patients a lot to get them recovery from the disease and pain-free quickly.
Okay, now doctor, there's going to be a lot of local colleagues of yours here who are going to be greatly enriched with the information you'll pass down. Have you already talked to some local physicians and local surgeons about your techniques and your pioneering work?
Yeah, in our center, the pioneer surgery of spine, we combine the navigation to the spine surgery in every field, include the spine tumor surgery or scoliosis or kyphosis correction surgery. Even the endoscopic surgery, we combine the navigation. As you know, like Google Map, the car move on the lane. You can know where is the car on the exactly where they are. So we before we surgery, we can get a patient's body structure, and then wear surgical instrument. They has a sensitive to connect to the imaging, so we can know where are we the surgical instrument in the patient, which site. So we can very accurate to localize the lesion and assist the lesion and correct the deformity or any other spinal disease. Very accurate.
Okay, now Dr. Wang, you and your colleagues are only going to be here for a couple of days. You've got a very busy agenda.
Yes.
But what did you know before coming to Guam about the number of patients and the number of cases that would apply to you that we have here on Guam?
In fact, I have treated about 10 cases from Guam.
Okay.
And they can be very overweight. The BMI can go to 90. So when they come to Taiwan, we take about 1 week for them to have surgery and come back. So about Guam, as we know that this is very Western style food here. And the obesity rate and overweight is very high, including diabetes, hypertension, those with severe metabolic syndromes are quite more. So in fact, today, we really come over here because spine center surgeons and including weight loss center surgeons, we are treating this kind of very overweight patients. So because overweight always causes some problem of joint, spines, and also metabolic syndromes. So after these procedures, the patient can benefit from this, can lose weight, and also can remit all the disease. So I think our survey will definitely provide the best solution for the Guam peoples.
All right. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. We are unfortunately out of time, but we're going to let you go back to doing the very good work that you are doing. And we thank you on behalf of the medical community and patients around here. We really appreciate your visit here. And please have a good stay on Guam.
Okay.
Thank you very much, doctor.
Thank you.
All right. And please stay tuned because we will be back right after this.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the more likely you are to fully express your feelings without having to worry about the way your teeth look.
Before cosmetic dentistry, I didn't smile as much. I didn't have the confidence, and it shows. And since I've had cosmetic dentistry done, I feel 10 times more confident. I make my initial introduction with a nice big smile and a handshake, and I just feel like it really is a relationship builder, a nice warm smile, and it makes the clients and customers feel more comfortable with you, feeling confident, and they feel that you're not just there for business, that you're also there kind of as a friend as well. So I mean, it's amazing how powerful a smile can be. A good smile.
Since your smile makes a significant impression on those around you, it is important that it makes the impression you want it to make.
All right, friends, coming to you live, back like we never left. I'm Jason Salas, and thank you for watching KUAM News Extra again. Joining me on the KUAM couch, three gentlemen whose commitment to excellence and to making our island and nation an amazing, safe, and happy place cannot be understated. We have way over there a good friend of ours. We haven't seen him in a while, Uriah Perez. You are the Community Liaison Officer.
That's
on
correct.
Guam. So good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, thank you for joining us. In the middle, Staff Sergeant John Ewald, who comes to us by way of the great state of Oregon.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Staff Sergeant, we're pleasure to meet you.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, and then a good friend of ours who was talking about Toys for Tots, someone we haven't, last time I saw you, First Lieutenant Brent Lazaroff, was at the Liberation Day Parade.
Yes.
You were having the time of your life, I remember.
I was.
Yeah, and the Marines showed up incredibly well. That was an amazing parade that you guys put on, so thank you.
Appreciate it.
A real treat for us. Okay. Okay, and now your mission, as you undertake so many missions, is the Toys for Tots program. I understand now a decade old.
Yep, so on Guam, this is our 10th year of Toys for Tots, but it's the 72nd year for the Toys for Tots program nationwide. So, as we've talked about before, in 1947, Toys for Tots started in California. A Marine Reserve major whose wife made some homemade toys and said, I need you to donate these to some kids for Christmas. He couldn't find an organization to do that, and so she said, make one. So he mobilized his reserve unit, and in the first year they collected 5,000 toys in the California area. And so we're here now doing it in the 10th year. Last year, in the Marianas as a whole, we collected over 10,000 toys. So we're hoping to make the program bigger and better this year in the 10th anniversary year for us.
Okay, Sergeant, I must ask you, as an enlisted man, right?
Yeah.
The nature of your duty, it's incredibly tense, incredibly serious. Your commitment, as I said, cannot be measured by any metric. You do what you do to preserve liberty.
Absolutely.
And now you've got this mission and everything like that. You approach it with the exact same sensitivity, the same commitment. You're a rifleman by trade, but now you're looking to bring joy into the hearts of young children at Christmas time. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I kind of look at it as far as my son. When I see my son open his gifts on Christmas Day, the joy he has, that's something that every child deserves to have that joy at Christmas. And every parent should, get the opportunity to see their kid experience that joy.
Well, you told me your son's going to be watching this right now on YouTube. You want to give a shout out to your son right on that camera?
Yeah, hey, Keone, love you.
Hey, Keone, shout out from Guam, man. We hope you have a wonderful holiday season coming up. Okay, so you're right. There's a lot of work that has to go into this, obviously, a lot of phone calls that have to be made, a lot of coordination and everything like that.
Yes, sir.
How is your dedication to this mission?
Well, I'm equally as dedicated and up to the task as the Marines here. This is a great program because we get to reach some of the most underserved members of our community. So it's a great thing to be a part of, and we hope for it to continue and to grow. So.
Right. Okay, so LT, it looks like we've got the mission, you've got the personnel, you're motivated, focused, and everything. What can we, as a civilian community, help you?
So really, we run the program, we manage it, we organize it, but it's the community's program. It's only successful with the community's involvement. So We already have 89 businesses signed up on Guam.
Wow.
A lot of them thanks to the Guam Chamber of Commerce, our premier partner here on Guam. And we already have toy boxes out at all those locations. If you need to find those locations, they could all be found, as always, on our Marine Corps Activity Guam Facebook page. It's the top post pinned to the top. If someone wants to become another drop-off location, let us know and we'll bring a box there. And it's really just the community working together to collect these toys and then helping us with the distribution. We have our same partners, our big distribution partners are Salvation Army and Catholic Social Services, but we also partner with some of the other organizations.
And we've had a box here too for several years and everything. So we get everything from, Barbie dolls, racetracks, stuffed animals. And I hate to sound like a Debbie Downer because this is an amazing mission, but anybody can jump in here. But what kind of toys wouldn't be on the acceptable side?
So we don't allow clothes. We don't allow anything that looks like a realistic weapon. So bright green water guns are okay.
Super soakers are cool.
A silver looking gun with just an orange tip, not okay. We won't distribute it.
Okay.
So that's kind of the limit. As we do look at some of the older kids, because our program does go all the way up to the teens, some of the older teens, it's hard to shop for them. So we look at sporting equipment, books, things like that.
A basketball is a lifetime. Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to collections, Sergeant, everything like that, as we get closer and closer to the distribution day, how many Marines are going to be involved and where does everybody go?
So there's only about in the low 20s of active duty Marines on the island. So we'll probably be utilizing as many people, as many Marines as possibly can. Yeah. And I mean, the program ends, we'll be picking up on December 13th for the businesses, December 5th, or I believe December 5th for the high school challenge. And yeah, so we'll be picking them up around that time frame. And that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, Uriah, if there's anybody watching this right now, there may be church groups, individual families, like nonprofit organizations who absolutely want to get involved in everything like that. Is there a number they can call, a social media page that they can follow to say, that is absolutely perfect, I'm all in about that?
Sure. They can reach out to our Facebook page, Marine Corps Activity Guam, and reach out to us, send us a message, and we'll be happy to respond to them.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. It's going to be an absolute pleasure working with you once again, LT, in the holiday season and year-round, and bringing a smile to a child's face. And if I may be so bold, we greatly appreciate the fact that you guys share Semper Fidelis with us. Because you guys have worked every single year on this, tirelessly and everything like that. You guys are a great joy to work with. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Sarge, Uriah, thank you so much. Thank you. And we will be back right after this.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas. MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
All right, my friends, welcome to the show. And as they say, the future is female, but we don't need to jump 3 months ahead because I have two wonderful ladies, some of my best friends when it comes to real estate, here with me now. Why are you laughing, Gina?
The future is female.
The future is female. Well, what is happening in the present is you guys are here, and what is happening in the present right now as far as Guam's real estate market is we are in a seller's market, evidently, right?
Yes.
How do we actually know what the cyclical shifts are and everything. Because like 3 weeks ago we were saying, it might be buyers and everything like that.
We say it's a seller's market when the inventory is low. Yeah.
Okay.
There's more buyers out there looking for property and not enough properties. Especially in certain price ranges, really slim pickings.
And not only that, construction. We're slowly bringing in contractors and getting the approval for construction, but the inventory is low because of that.
But this is a positive thing right now because it is a seller's market. So for people that may have property or they may be holding on to it because they say, I really want to jump at the opportune time, how can they actually get ready? Because you should prep. You want to take advantage of opportunities.
Yeah, yeah, you absolutely do. I mean, for sellers that are looking to sell, this is a great time to sell your property. But it's not to say that you could just put your property in the market at any price you want. It doesn't work that way. It's still a process, and there's still mechanisms in place that, unless somebody's paying cash, they're not just going to be able to pay you whatever it is you want to ask just because it's a seller's market. But what we're concerned about is we're concerned about the buyers out there, the buyers that need to get into a place, because one of the side effects of being in this kind of market is people who own property also, they're able to get more rent for their property because the inventory, the real estate inventory is really low for people who want to buy, so there's more renters out there at the same time. We still have a lot of rental properties on the market, but the rental prices are still so high, even though there's a lot of rental property.
Everyone wants a military tenant, so they price their rental properties.
Yeah.
Is it ever possible, could we be in a seller's market for one particular market segment? Like say we'd be in a seller's market for rentals and a buyer's market for permanent, like owned property, commercial? Or is it pretty much like the whole market shifts?
I don't believe the commercial market has picked up as much as residential. Residential is first.
Okay.
And as a buyer, if you're out there and so from 500,000 and below, and 500,000 to me sounds like a large amount of money, but that's our market right now, is 500,000 below. So imagine if you're in the 250 to 350 range. That market's so competitive. So as a buyer, you really got to prep yourself. You can't just call us and say, well, I mean, you can call us and we're going to tell you what to do, but you can't just say, I want to go look at property. We won't be serving you correctly if we just put you in our car and show you to look at property.
And if you only look at like two pieces of property, you're not getting a
real
good...
I think Gina and I had this discussion that to prepare, we're recommending, rather than calling us right away, we encourage you to call us, but before you do, get ready so that when you go through the process, you're not disappointed, such as getting your last 2 years' tax return and all the documentation you need to go and get a pre-qualification. So in the pre-qualification process, you will know what is needed. Number one, out of pocket. How much, if you're buying a $300,000 or $400,000 home, what does that mean? It means you have to have X amount of money from your pocket to provide for your closing costs, because there's a number of fees. And people, when they go through the process, sometimes they aren't aware. They think it's a smooth process where they can just go in and purchase and without monies out of pocket. You've got escrow fees. You've got closing costs, you've got recordation fees. So there are a number of fees associated. So we want them to be prepared to know how much money do they have to save up. If you want to buy, you've got to save to make sure you have those monies available. And then also, what is your budget? The bank will tell you, based on your income, how much do you qualify for. And once you have that in hand, then Gina and I can take them around and say, okay, these are the homes that fit within that price range. So it is critical to prepare. Otherwise, we put you in our car, we take you around, and then you put in your offer, then you find out, sorry, you don't qualify for the loan because either your income is not enough or you just bought a car and your income ratio has declined and you're not able to have the buying power you wanted.
And essentially what I've done is just wasted and what's more important, your time.
Well, No, we're going to be out there showing and looking at real estate regardless.
Well, from my vantage point, because then the next time I call you, it's like, hey, you want to try this again? You're going to be, okay, you burned me last time.
Yeah, honestly, we don't mind that.
I know you're going to help me because you're very, very kind, but it's still.
But we want you to be prepared. We want you to have all the information you need so that we can move forward. Because what's the point in moving forward where you have to take 2 steps forward and 5 steps back? So we want our buyers to be prepared and be knowledgeable in this process.
It's a very competitive market. So if you realize that it's a seller's market, when you go, especially homes that are priced well, okay? Anything priced under $350, that's a competitive market in some villages more than others. So if it's priced well and you are looking at it, you have to understand there's probably 10 other people looking at it. So when you put in your offer to the seller's going to say, show me the money. I know you're giving me an offer, but how are you going to close this deal? And that's what we want to educate the buyers about.
Okay, bottom line, get all your paperwork and all of your information in line. And when opportunity comes, jump at it. All right, thank you very much, ladies.
That's right.
We'll see you next time.
Thank
and we will see you next time. Thanks as always for watching. Take care.